Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day number 253, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard, 6 o'clock in California, 3 a.m. in Ukraine. Tomorrow, that will be changing here tomorrow night or Sunday as we flip back an hour. Then it'll change back to 7 from the East Coast. But as of tonight, 6 hours, 3 o'clock in the morning over there. Now, starting tomorrow night on the updates, Zhenya will be flying solo on most of the nights. I'm actually going to take a little bit of a break. Heading down to spend a little bit of time with my family down in Virginia, chasing deer. But I will be here and communicating with Zhenya every day. And I asked him, I said, do you want a break? And we just take a break? He says, no, I'm living in a war zone. We're going to keep telling the truth and getting awareness out. So we'll be here each night. It'll either be him or to be him and me. But regardless, unless something crazy happens, he loses power. And at that point, I probably would put the update up. Regardless, the updates will be here each night at 9 o'clock. Also want to say thank you. Power banks are starting to arrive here where we are building our supplies to ship them over. And we are less than 30 days from our shipment. So make sure you check out the Amazon list. Plenty of things there to choose from to assist. And remember, the great thing is we hand deliver them and you watch it. That'll be happening here in a couple of months. So with that said, thank you. As always, thanks to our moderators, and you guys are the best. And let's get to it. Got a great update tonight, full update, and the man's awake. Good morning to you, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. As always, thanks, bud. You're looking good tonight. Power banks are coming in.
Great.
Yes.
It's a good
news. Had a German message me today and say, I can't buy power banks from here on the Amazon list, so I'm just going to send money. Y'all buy power banks. So people are jumping in, man. That's big help from Germany. So big shout out to Roman Stingler. You're a good guy. So thank you. Let's jump to it.
Thank you.
A couple of things. Yeah. Thank you. What else can we say? Thank you. Yes, rolling blackouts are happening everywhere. Have you been out of power any today?
Let's say I was out almost all of the whole day, and it was the time when there were no electricity at home. So I had chance to use the elevator and having electricity in the morning, and then I left. When I got home late evening, the electricity got back. So.
Well, my apartment there is about a mile from you as the crow flies, a couple of kilometers. And Beskravanya called me today and says, it's cold and I have no lights and no power. But Dядя Grisha, he calls me Dядя Grisha, Uncle Greg. Mom and I are going shopping and we're going to make sure that we have the ability to have some heat somehow. So he says, when you get here after Christmas, we may be sitting around a candle, but we're going to have some heat. But it's the reality. The rolling blackouts are happening. And, this is the assault that's happening upon Ukraine. And we're not even into winter yet. Update on the Black Sea grain export. Yes, grain is still moving out. But as we said, the story will not end. Ukraine came out today and officially said, we don't know what Putin was talking about. We didn't give any agreements, any authorizations, whatever. All we know is we're shipping grain out and that guy's lying, but grain is going out. So typical. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that all the time.
I mean, Ukraine didn't do what Putin said through Turkey. Ukraine did nothing, just so the world knows the truth.
This is why I was asking. Okay, I want to see that paper. This document.
Correct. There was no paper. There was no document, but it's happening. So we'll continue. How about solar farms being stolen now?
Yeah, on the territory which is controlled by Russia temporarily. They were telling about that before, and at this moment they are taking and stealing the solar panels and all the equipment for that, which is It's classic
Important.
in
Yeah,
there.
stealing. I've been working in Ukraine for all these years, over 25 years, and when we were just there and riding out through Dnepropetrovsk region and Poltava region, and we were in Kryvyi Rog and all those regions, I actually saw solar farms, and I asked you, do you remember? I said, what is that? Because I had never seen solar farms in Ukraine. And winters are tough, but spring, summer, and fall, especially in southern Ukraine and southeastern Ukraine, they get a lot of sunlight. The ground is flat. And for the first time, I saw massive solar farms. So the technology is there, but in the occupied territories, it is being stolen as
Mhm.
normal. I want to give an update on Melitopol tonight. We've got this on the map. We haven't talked about this city a lot lately. It's a key city. Remind everyone, this is in the red circle here. Um, early in the war, we covered this very closely when the mayor Ivan Fedorov was kidnapped. He was held by Russian military for 9 days. He was exchanged for 9 soldiers. I remember this because we said, okay, we got, our mayor back. We had to give 9 soldiers for him. And we even said, look how much, Ukraine cares for their people. They gave up 9 POWs for one guy. And
Mhm.
his name is Ivan Fedorov. Well, he gave an update today on what is happening in the Melitopol region. Melitopol is going to turn out to be a key city going forward. I've got that here translated. Let's take a look at this now, and then we'll get your response to Melitopol. Jacob, here we go.
Станом на зараз, повна військова цензура, як називають це окупанти. Була навіть інформація про сухий закон чи щось на кшталт цього для російських військових. І загалом велика концентрація ворожих військ. Мелітополь вони продовжують використовувати як таку свою базу на півдні нашої країни. Чим живе місто сьогодні? Що ми про нього знаємо? Прошу.
Ви знаєте, з чого хотілося розпочати? Якщо раніше 2-3 місяці тому ми говорили про те, що рашисти захопили на території міста Мелітополя військову базу, яка була нашої транспортної авіації, або якісь підприємства, які вони використовували як свої військові бази, промислові підприємства, і звідки наші збройні сили, наші сили супротиву вибивали їх регулярно. То сьогодні, на жаль, ми можемо констатувати той факт, що сьогодні рашисти використовують в цілому наше місто та Мелітопольський район як величезну військову базу. Про що я говорю? Я говорю про те, що сьогодні всі підприємства, більшість підприємств міста Мелітополя працює на рашистів в оборонній сфері. Наприклад, на захопленому заводі залізобетонних виробів вони виготовлюють залізобетонні доти, які везуть для оборони саме Запорізького напрямку та Херсонського напрямку. Наприклад, наші промислові підприємства машинобудування вони використовують для ремонту своєї військової техніки. На жаль, сьогодні ми бачимо, що кожного дня до нових та нових сіл навколо міста Мелітополя приїжджають рашистські військові та заселяються в будинки. Спочатку це було тих мешканців, які виїхали з тимчасової окупації, але сьогодні вони навіть не дивляться, хтось там живе, не живе. Якщо хтось живе, виселяють. Масово також бачимо заселення до дачних кооперативів, які є навколо нашого міста Мелітополя. Наприклад, селище Мирне, яке знаходиться буквально в 10 кілометрах від міста Мелітополя, вже не те, що 200 чи 150 чи 300 російських військових, вже перейшов облік на тисячі. І, звичайно ж, від цього ж страждають наше цивільне населення, наші мешканці.
Melitopol is a key city down there in the southern part of Ukraine. If you're wondering, folks, what size is Melitopol, we haven't talked about it recently. It's over 100,000. It's a key city. There's Ivan Fedorov talking. What's your thoughts on that right there?
I mean, not much. I would say it's let's say it's a temporary for sure. I think the Melitopol will be delivered. I mean, deliberated and liberated.
Delivered.
And
we're deliberating over how to deliver it and liberate it. You perfect.
Okay,
I got you.
okay. And But reality is what you just heard. Reality is about they're doing whatever they want. They taking people, grabbing, throwing people out of their places. They converting this city to the big military base. And I hope that there is a partisans movement in a lot of in those areas, and I believe they will be active these days and will be helping. This is, by the way, how we're getting this information, because there is a lot of people who is fighting by informing, by doing the things there
Um,
against Russia.
remember when we were in Kharkiv and we were there with our soldier Sasha on our first wave of runs, and now he's serving up in the north. And we were watching some videos from Melitopol, the church.
Mm-hmm.
Huge church in Melitopol. And I asked Sasha, I said, "You know that church?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, I know that church." He goes, "It's not there anymore." I said, "What do you mean?"
Mm-hmm.
"I mean, a big old church, huge. I mean, technical, beautiful, everything." He goes, "It's a military administration building now. They kicked them out, took everything, and it's now military." So and that was months ago. So this is a place that they're reinforcing. Now, Melitopol is down below Zaporozhye nuclear power plant in Energodar, completely de-energized. They were shelling in Energoatom. Of course, they're going to blame Ukraine, but Ukraine's not doing it. And we can tell you right now, all 6 reactors are off. They are being powered by 20 diesel generators. I can also tell you that the cooling ponds, the water temperatures has risen due to the shelling. 15 days of diesel fuel supply as emergency, and that's it. And remember what we told you last night. They're not letting anybody in, only Rosatom. So we keep saying it. Here we go. It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good, and this is worldwide. It should be known in every corner of the earth, because it's potential huge catastrophe.
It's a potential catastrophic event. I want to jump up right before we went online. A report come across from Zaluzhny, who's the defense minister or the top general for Ukraine. Zaluzhny. He said in some places Russia is tripling the amount of shelling they're doing. I think one of those places probably is here around Avdiivka. They're really pushing to get that city, and now they're trying to encircle it. We've got friends there in Avdiivka fighting, personal friends, and we've had to deal personally with our friends. I mean, we can tell the story now. He lost everybody in his whole group. He was the only one to survive. It put him in a horrible state of being. Got him recovered. Jane and I were helping him. He's back there. It's tough in Avdiivka. Very tough.
And it's a principal area. Why? Because it's really close to Donetsk, and they couldn't take this place since 2015, or quite a lot of years. And they couldn't in the beginning of this year. They couldn't take it, so they're trying, and for us it's a principle as well. So we'll see.
Avdiivka, it's very close to the Donetsk airport, which I have flown in and out of several times. It's a principal place because if you look at the map, folks, just look. So basically, down to the right, it would be like 4:00 from Avdiivka. You get to Donetsk, and then the airport's right outside the black circle. You have Avdiivka, but just look, once you pass Avdiivka, it becomes very rural. No more large population areas. You'll have little towns and villages and a lot of farming and mining and all these other agricultural places. Avdiivka's the last kind of big spot there in Donetsk. So that's one of the reasons that's a big battle. As well, Bakhmut, we've continued to say who controls the M3 highway. The black arrow there will control that region. Russia did gobble up a little bit of the M3, but Ukraine is fighting like crazy for that city. So it's a key place in the east. The two cities we're showing you, Avdiivka and Bakhmut.
Yeah.
One.
And I think we need to, pay attention on that on the future days, because this is the area I believe the big push will be start from our side.
Bakhmut.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys are wondering, if you look down at the bottom left there, you see the town of Konstantinivka. That is a city where Zhenya and I were working in. You can see the proximity to Bakhmut. So we've been right in that region helping civilians and helping our military. So we're deeply connected to that Bakhmut area. So as you're helping with finances and gifts and Amazon, all this stuff, this is one of their key regions that direct help is going. Just so you know, you're working through us all together as a community in that area right there. So Bakhmut region would be one of our cities. Now, the title of the program tonight, and I just saw another guy's video go up while we're streaming. He's got the same title as I've got tonight, the Kherson Trap. It's becoming more plain that there is a higher probability that Kherson's going to be a trap. This removal of the Russian flag in Kherson, forgive the spelling, is a Russian provocation in order to lure the armed forces of Ukraine to Kherson. This was from Gumenyuk today. Confirmed reports, state regular units of the invaders remain in Kherson. They did not evacuate. And they are dressing in civilian clothes, moving into civilian buildings. Couple of reasons. A, to have their military presence there, to welcome and battle the Ukrainians. But B, the first shell that Ukraine would have to send or battle, they're going to scream to the world that Ukraine is killing civilians. This is the two things. I have the arrow pointing there showing you on the key administration building in Kherson, the flag was taken down. But I want to show you another video, and then we'll get Zhenya's response. So here's a guy talking. I can translate him. Just check this out, just to show you this is the goofiness of what's happening. This picture right here is for the world, okay? To show that the flag is gone. This is for the world to see. But let's look at a video from a Khersonian.
Сегодня 3 ноября.
Today's the 3rd of November.
Военно-гражданской администрации в Херсоне
Main administration building.
пропал флаг.
And our flag is, the Russian flag's down.
Напротив.
But across the road,
есть.
the Russian flag is flying. So that's right there from today. That one building, they take the flag down, they take pictures, everything's out for the world, but the flag's still flying right across the street. You've been saying it. Go ahead, Kherson.
I think there is different reasons. It could be different reasons why they're doing it. Yes, absolutely correct that they are creating this picture, and maybe to send a sign to the world that Russia is maybe about to leave some areas, which was occupied. And the other situation is, and I don't believe them at all. And I think our guys, the military guys and commanders, their possible trap, will be converted to our benefits. And I think we have more than enough eyes and ears there, and connections, and we having much more information than they, updated what's going on there exactly. with it, with the quantities, with the locations, with everything, and our guys will do. I mean, we'll make it a benefit later. This
Well,
is what
think about it.
because
We're
they are on occupied land, and our
cur-
people are fighting for own land. This is the big difference.
big difference. I believe, yes, it's a trap, but the trap has been seen. We have lots of eyes and ears on the ground, just like the video I've shown you. And if we go back 10 minutes in the stream, that's the mayor of Melitopol, the real mayor, the Ukrainian. People ask, well, how's he getting video out? He's taking risk. He's sitting in his car. The background is blurred. He's moving around. He's trying to keep his head down, but at the same time, get the truth out. He's still in that occupied region. It's crazy, but they're fighting, as Zhenya said, for their homeland. We'll see. For sure, they are trying to spring a trap, but it's hard to spring the trap when the enemy knows what the trap is. So.
And I think more and more information and this attempts to draw a picture that Russia is doing something, like they're not like pushing, I mean, so strong there, and looks like they're leaving the territories or something like that. They will try to to create it, but in reality they will not. And the big battles are in the front.
Agreed. And we'll be watching it. But folks, that's the Kherson trap, and it's really the main story of the day with what's going on. A couple of other things that we want to draw your attention to tonight. One, we've been watching this story. NATO and Sweden coming into Finland and Sweden coming into NATO. Jens Stoltenberg came out today and said, okay, Turkey, everything that you initially requested for Finland and Sweden to join NATO, they have accomplished. Turkey came out today and said, hold on, there are still Kurds in Finland. So no Kurds can be there. So technicalities and all this stuff. The bottom line is what was initially requested has been fulfilled by the applicants, Finland and Sweden. Turkey still is blocking their ascension to NATO. Where does Turkey stand? I had somebody comment on the video this morning and sent me a nice message. They go, Turkey's in a tough spot. And I can agree with that. Okay. They're trying to be helpful. And we can't understand all the policies and economics and global things behind it, but they're in a tough spot. They're in the middle of that whole war zone geographically. They are full members of NATO. They do work with Russia. They're above Syria. Tough. Regardless, though, they're in an alliance with NATO, and that should come first, period.
But at least their position are confirmed, and it's stable, and they say, okay, we want to be in NATO. We're ready to give, to locate anything strategic weapon here, ready. And for us, we already choose, and we know which side we are on. This is important.
So the good news is we know where Finland and Sweden stand, and if things were to go awry and this went to a global conflict, I can tell you, you want the Finns on your side. We're thankful that they are on our side. Now, a nation we're having a little bit of trouble with, you and I actually talked about this after the stream last night. You said, man, we got to keep our eyes on Switzerland. They're messing us up right now. And today, you were ahead of the headline. I saw this. Swiss again reject German request to re-export Swiss ammunition to Ukraine. So what actually is happening here in a summary with this ammunition in Switzerland and Germany? What's really happening?
Okay. The short way to say, they said the Switzerland is not one of the sides and not involved in the war. So we are not agree for our weapon to go somewhere, or the munitions to go to the third countries. We're not in this war.
Due to their neutral status, is that what they're saying?
Yeah, they said according our laws. It's like we are not a part, so we disagree to we disagree
So
for our go there.
how can they not understand though in that disagreement they're
There,
hurting Ukraine? Yeah.
it's agreement. It's agreement. It's being, being ignoring when somebody is raping the
Mm-hmm.
small
Stealing
girl. Is
solar
saying,
panels. Yeah.
okay, it's not in my family name. This girl is not from my family, so I'm nothing to add. So no, 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 no. This is how it looks like.
Yeah. It's we'll see what happens, but it's, you know, these are nations we don't think about very often. And now Switzerland coming on the scene, you know, holding up ammunition from getting to Ukraine for German Technics. So it's a problem. For those of you wondering, this is today. You say, well, what are we looking at? You're looking at an Iranian cargo ship in Vnukovo Airport in Moscow. It's running nonstop cargo ships out of Iran. What are they bringing? I'm sure it's, you know, home goods and milk and eggs. That's milk and eggs. They're delivering milk and eggs to Moscow.
Yeah. No,
Folks,
this is why German government are requesting calling to leave all the Germans to leave the Iran because they're
correct.
exporting like that.
Great point. It was not just Germany. Many nations have come out in the last 24 hours telling their people that are in Iran, get out. Something's going on and we're aware of it and we're watching. We can't predict the future, but we can look historically and try to evaluate. We'll see. These guys are nuts. Večer. Of course, here's Solovyov. I try not to show them too much, but tonight I want to share with you guys the quick responses. Last night, 24 hours ago, we were talking about the Polish border fence. It was also on the Polish news that day, yesterday. We had it translated from Polish, shared it with you last night. The world has seen it. So we always say, do you think Russia's seeing the news and Putin seeing this? And yes, they see everything. And then they try to manipulate it. So today they responded to the Polish border fence. And here it is for you to see.
Я бы хотел напомнить нашим оппонентам, любителям строить заборы, что забор кинжалу или калибру не помеха. Да и танку, по большому счету, тоже. Поэтому, ну хотите строить, дело ваше. Зверушки бедные будут мучиться. Но они тоже побегут все в России, потому что в Европе скоро кушать будет нечего. Лесов не останется, они их всех сожгут в печках, ну потому что надо же как-то греться. И все. И дальше мы про генерала Мороза вспомнили. И вот, если перефразировать такое известное стихотворение про немытую Россию, то будет встречать немытая Европа как раз генерала Мороза с остатками своих лесных богатств.
I mean, they just gloating. Build the fence. We'll just drop a kinjal.
Yeah, but you have you have to remember it was the same during the Soviet time. I mean, time of Soviet Union, where all the people were believing that it's so bad outside of USSR. The people there are starving. They have they have nothing, no water, no quality food, nothing. And this is why our borders are closed. This is how they were telling the people. And it's the same now. I mean, on the street, you can, in the Russian media, you know, let's say on YouTube, there is a lot of reporters, like you can find that they're asking people right on the street that what do you think about the West countries and about Europe? They say, oh, I mean, they're dying there. No water, nothing, no gas. They're, getting cold. They poor, lots of it's a dirty time for them. Poor of these people, no food, and they will die without the Russia. This is the same rhetoric, absolutely.
They're living behind the Iron Curtain again.
Yeah, but it's already years like that.
Well,
This
think
is
about
why
this.
it's so easy to manipulate.
Well, not only, here's what they do, and I'm going to show one more clip because they're gloating today. You know, they have their ups and downs where they're screaming mad or the next day they're happy. So they're happy right now because, you know, they feel they've called up more soldiers and Belarus and Chechnya is coming in and they've got Iranian missiles and Iran's going to do this and North Korea's firing rockets. So they're all happy right now. So what they do, they tell this mess, this is what people believe. Now, what they've been telling tonight as well is how great Vladimir Putin is. And he's not a dictator, but he is a true authoritative leader. Very, very interesting clip here. See who they are comparing Putin with today.
Дело в том, к чему я веду, что россияне, вообще все жители этой страны не знали, что такое авторитаризм. То есть по-настоящему режиссерское яркое правление. Авторитаристами были и Черчилль, и Тэтчер, и де Голль, и Тита, и Рузвельт, и Эйзенхауэр, Эйзенхауэр, лучшие правители мира. И сегодня такой появился. Вот, собственно говоря, я про Путина, естественно.
Да вы что?
Впервые мы увидели совершенно новую матрицу авторитаризма. Не тоталитаризма и тирании, потому что все-таки Иван Грозный и Сталин, как бы вы к ним ни относились, это все-таки были тираны и тоталитарщики. Вот. И не раздолбайство, как это было с одной стороны Хрущев, с другой стороны Брежнев, или дикого какого-то развала государства, а потом непонятно чего, Ленин, которого, правда, тоже очень любили, но разлюбили.
Правильно я вас понимаю,
вот.
что
А этих любят по-прежнему.
Путин
кстати,
единственный нормальный руководитель.
Единственный нормальный руководитель, да, если только вот сейчас у него не будет вот этот прокол с войной.
Так.
Putin is equal to Churchill, Roosevelt, Eisenhower, Margaret Thatcher, and he's so much greater. You know, Brezhnev and Khrushchev and Stalin, no, they were failures. Stalin was a bad guy. Lenin was beloved, but Putin is the great leader. And this is what's pumped. It's this. So it's two sides of it. How terrible the world is and how great they are.
Yeah, I think this is why the Orthodox Church of Russia, they having in some of their temples, they have like icons with Putin and Stalin and others. I mean, it's like you may check it. Is it real or not? It's easy to check. But the reality, they believe, some of them they're telling that Putin is like a messiah at this time, and he's a great leader. He's a savior of not just Russia, but the only hope for the Europe and for the world. And yes.
Have you guys learned Zhenya's pet phrase? You may check it. Let me tell you what that means. It's real. You know, speaking about the Orthodox Church, you led me perfectly to here. You and I have said from day one, this is a holy war. Mm-hmm. Not just Ukraine and Russia, but we believe the Bible. If you're here watching this stream, we believe in the Bible. We are Christians. We're pastors. We're also a little bit crazy on how we like to serve and help people. But we tell the truth and do our best. But it's not just Russia and Ukraine. You see Iran, Israel, Syria, Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, U.S., Europe. This is all coming down to religious beliefs, holy wars, and good versus evil, light versus darkness. You can call it whatever you want to, but we know this is what is unfolding in front of our eyes. You talked about the Orthodox Church, the icons, Putin, Stalin, etc. Well, how do they view it inside Russia? I will share it with you now. Everybody else, they are Satanist. Just in case you were wondering, it's Satanism everywhere else. Check this out.
Это война неба против ада. Это война ангельских войск.
Клянусь именем Всевышнего, это большой джихад.
С нами вышел воевать сатана.
Я для себя это называю священная война.
У так называемой спецоперации России в Украине появилась очередная цель. К демилитаризации и денацификации, о которых в Кремле заявляли в начале войны, теперь добавилась десатанизация соседей. Нелепый термин гуляет по заголовкам интернет-публикаций, а пропагандисты на телевидении с полной серьезностью рассуждают о природе зла и его воплощении в Украине. Активно продвигать тему сатанизма в ВСУ провластные медиа стали в начале июня. Крестовый поход пропаганды возглавил православный телеканал «Спас» и государственное агентство РИА Новости. Сотрудники этих двух медиа опубликовали совместную статью, в которой утверждали, что сатанизм и оккультизм стали идеологией украинских военных, в первую очередь полка «Азов». Признанный в России террористической организацией полк «Азов» для кремлевских медиа – квинтэссенция всего негативного и темного. По их собственному выражению – козья морда, которой удобно пугать лояльную аудиторию. В качестве доказательств пропагандисты упоминают предметы оккультных практик, рисунки и граффити в местах, где находились украинские солдаты, татуировки у погибших и взятых в плен, а также разные истории о якобы магических ритуалах и жертвоприношениях. Все эти аргументы пропаганды не могут считаться доказательствами. Оккультный инвентарь свободно продается в интернете, на российских сайтах в том числе. Гарантировать, что его не подбросили для красивой картинки, никто не может. Кто рисовал граффити и зачем, также непонятно. В условиях войны сложно проверить, что на самом деле происходит на захваченных у противника территориях. Никаких видеодоказательств предоставлено не было. На церемонии в Кремле он обвинил в сатанизме всю западную цивилизацию.
Подавление свободы приобретает черты религии наоборот. Откровенного сатанизма.
После выступления Путина, словно по отмашке, сатанизм вернулся в российское информационное поле и заполонил провластные СМИ.
Я абсолютно уверен, что западная цивилизация прокладывает путь антихриста.
При этом Россия, которая напала на Украину, убила там тысячи мирных жителей и продолжает это делать, целенаправленно уничтожает критическую инфраструктуру страны накануне зимы, по мнению кремлевской пропаганды, находится на светлой стороне добра.
That is not some church somewhere. That's just the media showing what is going on, the reality of what's going on. And I think that was a great summary. You led into it perfectly. It's bonkers.
I know most of the viewers are here. It's like a representatives of all of these West democratic values, which Russia hates. And basically, this is how they commented that this is a club of Satanists. This is the war of the light, and by their words, with the bad, with the darkness, which is people. And if you would be careful to listening what they're telling, it's not just United States. It's, I mean, Europe, the whole Europe, and all the people, I mean, the countries of NATO, and the countries who are not supporting Russia, all of them are Satanists.
Let me ask you something. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
This is a patch I was given. This is one of the groups Zhenya and I were embedded with. That's the Wolf Pack. These guys would be just north of Bakhmut, actually. And wherever they're at now, we don't know, but in that general area. And we were embedded with them. And the next morning, we got up. That's when we were going to do some things. And guy came and got us and said, okay, breakfast is ready. You're eating with the commander. So you and I went down a couple of buildings and we ate with the commander and like his second in command. We sat around this little table and it wasn't you or me. It was the commander. When the food got on the table, he says, hold on, we've got to pray first. And that man prayed a beautiful prayer. You know, we may not believe everything the same theologically, but we believe Jesus is the Savior of the world. And it was a special moment. So not any propaganda could ever change our minds. We know not only what's in the rest of the world, but specifically what is in Ukraine. And I can tell you right now, they're not Satanists. And the Azovs, we've run with them too. Let's see here. You're not getting that at Walmart. It came right off his jacket. Not Satanist.
Yeah, the loving God people.
Loving people. This is the propaganda of
Okay.
what we try to fight against.
Yes. And today I got a message from, area between Kherson and Nikolaev. It said, "Hey guys, we pray for everyone in the world who's supporting us here. We pray for they would not tired. We pray for all the volunteers. The God would strengthen their hands, and for His mercy and grace on all of you." So I'm sending it in here. I'm living in it here, and we got requests from them. So I think that tomorrow we'll make a first shipment there with the IFAC, the medical sets, and
Good.
all and things there. And next week we're sending the power banks they needed, and other stuff, and the gloves and the socks. A lot of.
Everywhere we've went dealing with the soldiers, we've never had one time where we're sharing good news with them or wanting to pray with them where they said, no, we don't believe in that. Not one time. Not one time.
No.
So now they're praying for us. I love it, dude. Well, let's give some good news here. How about this one? Today, 107 POWs exchanged. We got 107 returned. 74 were Azovstal defenders. And so very thankful for that. We're getting these guys back, and this is what Ukraine said they would do. So we're thankful for that. Finally, last couple of things here. Let me flip to this one. Of course, we will continue to stand with Ukraine. Now, as we were talking about, and this is a great lead in as we close out tonight, I'm leaving in the morning on a trip, and I showed Jania where I was going. He says, "Man, you're going 430 miles. That's a long ways." I said, "Yeah. I'm going 430 miles. I'm heading south. I'll be down in Virginia, spending some time with my family, getting rested, refreshed, because after that, we come back, we roll into Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then I'm heading back to Ukraine." I was talking to Vladimir Zelensky tonight, Zolik, not the president, our Vladimir Zelensky, and he says, "Man, when you getting back over here?" I said, "As soon as Christmas is over. My family will not let me leave before Christmas. Christmas is over, I'll be back." And I said, "Zhenya and I are going to take you to the front line." He goes, "Yeah, I'm thinking about that." But he's our man. He takes care of us. But we're going to get back. So 253 days, I'm going to catch a little bit of fresh air. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be talking with Zhenya every day. If something major happens, we'll go on live together. If we're just updating the community each night, Zhenya will be doing the updates himself. They will be here 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, 6 in California, and by then it'll be 4 a.m. in Ukraine. So thank you for that, bud. And we'll be here. And I think, the perfect lead in for this is I asked Zhenya, I said, "Man, I got to catch some oxygen here." I said, "Do you want to take a rest?" He goes, "Oh, no. We keep the updates going. The only way an update will not happen is if I don't have power. And even with that, I'm going to do my best. Because you're living in the middle of the war. We got to keep telling the truth in the story." So thank you for that, bud. And what's interesting is, what you just shared, that coming out of the war zones, the frontline areas, they're praying that the volunteers keep strength. So, even soldiers rotate out and get a little bit of rest. Nobody is a robot here. So we're going to get rested and refreshed, and Zhenya will carry it, but we'll be here. Now, why do we do this? Why have we streamed 253 days? No, we did not expect that. We expected 7, just to be honest. Why have we done that? Why? I'm going to catch a little oxygen now. Zhenya is going to be doing the updates. We're not stopping, not taking a break. Why? Because this is life or death. And I want to show this. I've been holding this for a couple of days, and this is the perfect time to show it. Why are we here every night at 9:00 Eastern, 4 a.m. Ukraine time? This is why. And that's why we're here every day.
Yeah. And we will do everything is possible to support our guys. And we will be going there, encouraging them there and here, and doing the things we can. Yes. And I would share this. It's this morning. The whole city. You reminded me. The whole city was. When I just left my home, the whole city was. No electricity. All the cafes, and I forgot about that. So we had to repair one of the tires of one of our vans after the trip. There were a screw there inside the tire, and with Tigran and Elchishin, Pastor Sergey and Leon. So we go. I said, okay, we wait for Tigran. Let's go to cafe. And I forgot that when we came, there is no electricity. And the girl says, okay, but we know there is a war in our country. And we know it doesn't matter what's going on, but people in the morning, they wanted to have a cup of coffee. So we didn't close our cafe. We used a thermos.
Wow.
And prepared the coffee. We have coffee. No electricity. It was crazy.
Which
crazy
cafe?
Good. Milfei. The same
God
we
bless
were
them.
sitting there.
Yep. God bless them.
So we did enjoy the coffee there without electricity, with a nice taste, and think that okay, no electricity, life is going on.
Life is going on, and we keep going. So, thank you, bud. Tomorrow night, 9:00 Eastern, Zhenya will be here. I'll be traveling, getting down to where I'm going, but he'll be here, and we'll keep you updated every day. Wow. Good night. All right. Get some rest. We'll be talking to you, buddy.
Thank
Good night
you.
to all.
To all, good night.
Catch you guys later.